This is what you can do today to improve your ride tomorrow. DressageTrainingOnline.com, providing video training tools and resources for riders of all levels across the globe.
Good morning, I'm Catherin Haddad Staller, and I'm riding in Gladstone, New Jersey at the USET headquarters. I've said it before, I'll say it again, one of my favorite places to ride. I'm riding an 8-year-old horse today, and I'm about to show you my go-to medium level workout. In the beginner workout, which you can probably find on another tab here, on the beginner level workout, we already talked about what I expect from horse and rider and pretty much my go-to lessons at that level. Number one being teaching the rider how to sit, how to teach them how to sit and follow the natural motion of the horse, and also to teach them how to turn and how to leg yield a little bit. Those are the first basic things that I teach any rider besides seat to hand connection. That's also the basic level that I teach, let's say, my 4-year-olds. I want to teach them to follow the natural motion of the rider's seat. I want to teach them to move away from one single leg or the other. And I want to teach them to go forward off the spur. I want to teach them to make a straight connection to my hand. Now, I start every horse on the premise that he is going to go from my seat bones to my hand, be in front of my leg, be forward and straight and symmetrical in the reins. Now that changes over the life of a horse constantly. All of those things change. In particular, the symmetry may change. And when you're addressing symmetry issues on a horse, this one for the moment is a little tougher on my left rein than my right. When you're addressing those things, on some horses you can fix it in one ride once you're aware of it. Other horses it takes months to properly fix symmetry issues. One of the best ways to do it, and this is a go-to lesson for medium level horses, is leg yielding. So if you cut your corner and then leg yield to the wall, which is a pretty natural thing for a horse to do, and then ask yourself, was I able to keep equal contact on both reins? Was I able to keep equal contact under both seat bones? And did the horse feel like he moved willingly sideways from my leg there? I'm going to shut up on this one. You can evaluate those things. So, analysis, he's bouncing up and down on the bit when he goes sideways. How do I fix that? Number one, I'm going to ask him to be more forward in the next leg yield. Number two, I'm going to get in there with the softer left rein because I feel him blocking me there a little bit. I'm going to give on it just a hair. And I get a much steadier carriage in that leg yield. So that's one of your go-to lessons. Check yourself in leg yield. The next thing that leg yield can help you with, if you've really perfected it at the beginner level, when you move to a medium level, you can turn that leg yield into shoulder in. Just positioning the horse's body a little bit differently in relationship to the wall. Touching him with the inner leg here, making my skeleton match his. Good boy, we're going to do that again. So in setting up shoulder in, I want to make sure I have good right flexion, which I achieve by cutting the corner a little, touching him inner leg. And then I allow the shoulders to come off the track. I also turn my shoulders in that direction slightly. My contact on both reins should be exactly the same. And then I straighten him before the end of the arena. This is skeletal positioning. I position my skeleton and I tell him to do the same. I'm going to show it to you once from the back. That'll be on the other hand. Again, this is a go-to lesson at a medium level. I want to check that my horse is symmetrical on each bend, that he gives me the left bend like he gives me the right bend, that he'll move away from each spur the same, so that I can create leg yield and shoulder in symmetrically in both directions. They have to feel symmetrical, not just look symmetrical. Now, here's the second thing at this level that your horse must learn. This is a time when we move into self-carriage. I find it impossible to teach a horse self-carriage if you don't teach him to stop without the reins. And that is key in getting any horse out of a beginning level, any rider out of a beginning level, into a medium level. The medium level obviously prepares you for the advanced level. Teaching self-carriage. If you can't stop your horse without your reins, you can't teach him self-carriage, because there is no way to pull a horse into self-carriage. He has to be pushed into self-carriage. But if you just push and push and push without stopping him somehow, then all you have is a forward running away horse. So he has to get the aid to stop without being pulled on. Then he has to almost simultaneously, quickly thereafter, get an aid to go. If you tell him, wait for me and go with your hind legs, you push him into self-carriage. So I think I can demonstrate that on this horse. Remember the explanation I just gave you. And let me show you, I've taught him to stop on my leg and my seat. It might take me 1 or 2 rotations to get it perfect. Watch for that. If the head comes up in the downward transition, I am happy, not sad. Very tough for a horse to lower the hindquarters and take more weight on the hindquarters without lifting the head and neck. We want it to come up. I am sitting him against my reins right now. I'm not pulling back on the reins. There's a difference. I would like to be able to make this transition completely without the reins, which is what I'm getting to here if you watch for a minute. That time I encourage the hind legs to come more under with the tip of my stick. This I liked. Very good boy. I liked it because he's getting lighter in the rein now. Good boy. If he takes a step back, I'm not going to sweat that right now. Quick forward off the leg. Now, if I turn that halting into half halting, which I will do on the center line, then I create more self-carriage in my horse. So my lower leg came back and said to him, stop, but my seat and the tip of my spur said, go. Remember, we're bringing him back on the ankle bone. We're not touching him with the spur when we bring him back. But if we do touch him, if we follow that with a touch of the spur, then he has to step up into a freer neck and carry himself more. So I'm going to stop talking for 3 minutes here because this is one of my more sensitive horses, and I don't ride as well when I'm talking. Give me a minute and I'll get him truly into self-carriage. Okay, this can be achieved in canter as well as trot.